If I asked you who could produce a better game, a team of 550 or a team of 12, what would you say? I'm guessing 99% of you would say the team of 550. More people equals more time equals more talent, but I'm here to tell you that Neon Giant, a team of 12, the little guy, has done one better than CD Projekt Red and created a phenomenal cyberpunk looter-shooter RPG, and one without nearly as many bugs and annoyances. One in which the bleak post-apocalyptic world is somehow brimming with life, akin to the worlds of Mass Effect even. And how could this game not succeed when the co-founder's name is Arcade and he has actual anime hair?
You're breathtaking!
Let's dive into the review, guys. This is going to be a fun one. After creating your character, which admittedly is not as in-depth as Cyberpunk 2077, meaning you can't alter your genitals, you begin to get the story of how you came to the planet as an indent to the Ascent group, and how miserable your life of servitude is. But, in what would seem a fortunate twist of fate, the Ascent group, your owners, have declared bankruptcy, sending all employees and indents into freefall. However, this means that now the streets are running amok with looters and rioters, anyone looking to take advantage of those weaker citizens. So you team up with your former boss and work together, mostly you working for him, to make the best of this new situation. The story plays out in regular RPG fashion. You complete quests to unlock the next chapter, usually involving a cutscene and some really great voice acting. The main character, Poon, should win an award for his contributions. He was very impressive in particular.
That was Admin Denker. While we were splooging all over ourselves here, someone went and grabbed a whole bunch of hammers. My hammers!
But so many people that you meet throughout the world are voice acted, even some who you can't interact with. They just speak as you're passing by on the street. That's one special way in which the developers have made the sprawling metropolis of Arcology feel alive. Sometimes you just walk into the middle of a conversation, catch a sentence or two, and then continue moving on. Other citizens are congregating and moving about too. That's as much as I want to give you of the story. It's quite a fun ride, and after about 10 hours in the game, I'm still enjoying it and unfolding new surprises. There are a lot of side quests to find as well. Originally, you will need to locate the citizen in need using the map, which looks daunting at first glance, but is very easy to understand when you toggle the details button. Once you've accepted a quest, you can then press a key while exploring to give you short turn-by-turn directions laid out on screen. These side quests too are all voice acted, some in alien dialects with subtitles, and I found myself getting invested in the stories and quests pretty frequently. Some of them are just plain silly too, like trying to find steroids for these behemoths to keep juicing. I will say that if I'm being nitpicky, I wish there were some conversation and relationship options, maybe meeting some folks early on who share your play and you can sympathize with, but again, that might be my only gripe with the game, and that's more of a personal opinion. Plus, you can play co-op up to 4 players locally and online, so I really think that's meant to take the place of partying up with NPCs. In terms of gameplay, the Ascent is an isometric twin-stick looter shooter, often implementing cover fire mechanics to help preserve your health and offering a plethora of skills and abilities to upgrade at every new level gained. The weapons you find and buy throughout the world can be upgraded using parts that you loot from all over the world, marked on your map with a nice orange rectangle so you always know where to look. These upgrades drastically improve the damage of your weapons, so be on the lookout for them. There are a number of different types of vendors, from your typical weapon and armor, to a grafter that can install new mods and augmentations, special abilities that will make your playthrough unique and fun. All these vendors can be found throughout the major areas of the Arcology world, and in different areas they will have new stock available to purchase. The same goes for weapons and armor dropped by enemies. It changes depending where on the map you are and what type of enemy you're fighting. Once you get a couple hours in and start unlocking the elemental weapons and armor, that's where the real fun begins. When your character levels up, you'll receive 3 skill points to divide amongst 8 different abilities, many of them combining aspects that larger RPGs would separate, but I found this combination aspect really helped streamline my choices and didn't leave me spending 10 minutes weighing my options, only to toss a coin and leave it up to luck. In this journal, you also keep an extensive codex, which fills as you discover more of Arcology from places to faces, and there's an immense amount of detail found here, a lot of backstory. And all the character models are movable, which is just a nice touch, and it shows the level of detail that Neon Giant have put into this massive world. Speaking of the size of the world, it can take quite a bit of time to walk between some of the quests, but there are a couple fast travel options, from the metro that you can catch at the various stations, to later being able to call a taxi for 1,000 credits and be delivered to the area of your choice. Some folks don't like fast travel in games like this, and honestly, If there is a world I want to walk about in and explore, it's this one, but the option is there if you want it. And this game would be very boring without all the flashy gunfights. That's where the meat and potatoes of the gameplay is. Lots of random fights to walk up on, some give you the option to turn around, but most will just ambush you and the characters just keep coming from off screen, from rooftops, over the railings. It's really great to see them all rushing at you and using some of the cover as well. It can be a bit tricky at times for the player to use the cover-based fighting, since you have to crouch to get behind a wall or object and then raise your gun to shoot over, and sometimes you just can't seem to line up the right angle. The isometric camera makes those angles and adjustments a little difficult, but overall I found it pretty easy to use and it's definitely necessary in the tougher fights. There are times when the camera will shift and give you an alternate view of the city, like your character walking straight down a corridor, or a completely side-on view. These were nice changes and made the game feel not so stale even when I was just walking 1,000 meters to my next objective. Along with your two weapons that you can rotate between, you also have a tactical weapon of choice that charges according to the damage you deal with your main weapons, and then your two augments which charge slowly over time. All of these levels are represented succinctly in the bottom right of the HUD. The controls on mouse and keyboard are all rebindable too, but I don't think the same goes for a controller. If you're enjoying the video so far, gently caress the like button and consider subscribing for more. Both things do help our videos get shown to more indie game fans like you, so thank you for your support. The art here follows a traditional cyberpunk feel, with dark and dank city streets and alleyways being in abundance, and neon lights and advertisements shining from every doorway. It's always nighttime and often rainy, and the wet pavement serves to reflect the many lights around Arcology. The weapon effects and fighting graphics are really sweet, lots of sonic booms from barrels or enemies exploding. Even the character animations and modeling feel really crisp and clean, and there is so much variety. I really can't get enough of this world. The music is what you would expect in a cyberpunk game, some synth and electronic music with faster pace and heavier beats during the fighting sequences, but the real beauty and grace of the sound design lies in the casual movements around the bustling metros. Like I mentioned earlier, you can walk down the street and hear folks talking and cars buzzing by overhead, and then duck into a shop and hear the more intimate conversations of the patrons mixed with the more isolated music of the store. The sound design goes a long way in making the world feel alive and vibrant by giving you just snippets of conversation as you pass by. In the menu, there are a lot of graphical options to choose from, basically everything you need, and some accessibility options as well, like different colorblind modes and adjustable subtitle size and color. So the question is, should you play the Ascent? Is that really even a question at this point? This is a diamond in the rough, a cyberpunk RPG done right. Teeming with life, the world of Arcology is fascinating to explore, and along the way you'll have tons of fun gunfights and leveling up your character in your own way while unraveling an intriguing story. If you like RPGs or Diablo-style games, I especially think you'll enjoy The Ascent. Thank you very much to my 1,230 subscribers for your support. If you like what you see here at Indie Game Pulse, join us on Discord and consider helping us grow by supporting us on Patreon. Links are in the description. For more top indie game countdowns and reviews, check out the videos on your screen now, and I'll see you on the other side.